Okay, we are inside, and I haven't cut or spliced anything, and I'm not going to do that until I disconnect this and then measure out the length. So I will unplug this and this as well, and now we'll just, I'm going to leave that taped up there if it'll stay. So we're going to unscrew the old cables, and those will come down. This one is the negative. And here is the positive. Okay, I'm going to give myself a little slack to the wire because it's a nice loose wire. So I'm gonna cut it right about there, cut it and splice it there. So I'm gonna cut. If it will cut. I have a difficult time cutting wire because I don't have a really good grip. So I end up using these scissors. These scissors work for me, so. And they also work for cutting the rubber. I do need to get me a better wire cutter, splitter, and crimper. I do know that. I need the ratcheting one. They do make a ratcheting one that I think would be better for me with my limited hand function. So I feel like that would be better for me. So I'm just going to twist this because the type of connection that the charge controller has, I'm hoping this works. This is pretty thick wire, so I'm hoping that this works. This was the whole point in getting this wire, is that I did not want to have to splice a piece on like I did before. So I'm hoping that this will go up inside that small little connection. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I have to unscrew this screw as wide as I can, and I'm going to get my head under here so I can see what I'm doing, preferably, hopefully. I'm going to use my flashlight to help me see. It still doesn't seem wide enough for this wire. This is some pretty thick wire, so I'm a little disappointed in this. Yep, that does not seem like it's working. Okay, so what I've decided to do, since that was so, you know, that wasn't cooperating with me, the wire is still too thick. So what I've done is I've taken the wire, and I'm sure somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's going to work for me, and if it doesn't, I'll figure something else out. So I've taken the wire, because this wire is really thick. I've taken it and I've split it in two, like this. All right. And I'm twisting off one section and wrapping it around the base. And then I'm going to insert this much into the connection, because that's really all it's going to take. It's not going to take all of that wiring. So I'm going to see if this works. I'll find out in a day or two if it doesn't work, right? If I'm not getting the same kind of charge that I have been getting, then I'll know. So I'm going to take a little bit of the electrical tape, and I'm going to cover that piece that I wrapped around so I know that it stays in contact. Just really tightly wrapping it around. Okay, so now that bottom piece is going to stay in contact with the other wires here, but this is the only piece that'll go up into the charge controller. We'll see how this works. Put it in. And now get the screwdriver and screw it back down, and hopefully it tightens on there. Okay, it feels tight. Nope, that popped out. So nope, that wasn't tight enough. Okay, so I've exposed more wire. I have almost twice as much showing here as I did before, so I'm hoping that helps. So we're gonna try that again. So I'm gonna unscrew this one, and those positives fell out, those negatives fell out, which is good. And I'll get back under here, and we're gonna try this again. I'm going to unscrew this a little more to open this all the way. Open the box up all the way. There's a little box in here. It's a weird situation, but okay. Alright, so we're going to put the big one in first so I can see that it is in there. Ugh. Okay, and then I think I'm just going to wrap these negative ones around there, maybe, because I can't really get them inside. They're not really going in all the way because there's not much room. And so now I will screw this down on top of my wires. All right, that feels pretty firm to me. I'm hoping that is the case. Once we do the positive one, we should get light here and here. These two lights should light up putting it in. Okay, we got the positive wire cut and spliced and ready to be inserted. So I'm gonna get back under. Make sure that's unscrewed all the way. Okay, it's unscrewed all the way. Hopefully those green lights will pop on as I insert. I hope. And it looks like we've got green lights. And both 12-volt sockets popped on as well. So it looks like we're a go. Tighten that up. All right, that feels snug to me. We've got our battery light and we've got our indicator light telling us what kind of battery we have. Green is sealed, orange would be a gel battery, and red would be flooded. We're on green, which is what we want. So those two. Now the reason this panel voltage one is not turned on is because, again, I'm dealing with a wire that doesn't want to cooperate. So this is that wire that needs to go in there. And it's not so much the wire as it is the screw. This screw is stripped. Therefore, it's not really letting me screw it in the full tightness, unfortunately. I'd like to get it in there as far as I absolutely can. There we go. Now I felt it catch. All right, now that's blinking. That means that we are getting, a charge from the panel. Right now my batteries are reading 14.2, so I'm getting plenty of charge. It is the afternoon, so I'm getting full sun right now. And if you're wondering why I'm screwing this one the wrong way, because I just realized that apparently this socket is backwards. So that's what it seemed anyway. So I was doing righty-tighty, lefty-loosey for this one, and it was coming out constantly. I'm doing it backwards, and it seems to be working. So I guess this one got put in the wrong way, because this seems pretty snug now. So, Oh, my light stopped. Don't ask me why. I don't know what's going on with this one, but this one has given me grief since the day I put it in. Maybe I did the screw too far. All right, hold on. See, every time I tighten it up, though, or what I think I'm tightening up, it loosens. See how loose it is now? Yeah, this one's just giving me grief. I'm going to definitely have to get a different charge controller. That's all is to it. I don't like this charge controller anyway. I like a digital display that tells me what my readout is. I'm borrowing this from someone and they're going to need it back in another couple of days. So I'll have to use my voltage, my multimeter thing, which I don't like. I like just looking at a display and seeing where my batteries are reading 14.3 now. So I just thank you for coming along with the never-ending saga of the power. So again, we have 1 or 2 more things left to do to get the system completely functioning the way I want it to be. And I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your helpful tips. I know I probably should have done this the opposite way that I did it, which is I should have plugged all this in first and then did the battery. I get that. I know that. Didn't realize it until I was midway through and realized in my head, I probably shouldn't have done this with power hot. So anyway, it's all good. I don't need you to comment on it. So hope you enjoyed this daily dose. Thanks for watching.